Okay, all right, here we go. Okay, first of all, my name is Robin Ward. Secondly, please excuse the way I look. I'm very, very tired. Okay, thirdly, I'm making this video because I want somebody to know someday what I've gone through. And I'm not whining, and I'm not fabricating, and I'm not exaggerating in anything that I'm going to tell you in this video. Okay, I'm 53 years old. From the day I was born, I've had a pretty darn rough time. My mother was a very sick individual, and she really, really did not take very good care of any of us children. We were very abused by her and my father and other people that she left us with. So that's the way my life started out. Also, I was sick most of my life. Some of it, I truly believe today, was because of her doing. So, and now I'm back to the present. Okay? A year and a half ago, I booted my family out of my life after living in Oregon for 12 years, trying to fit in, trying to be loved, to be accepted, doing everything they wanted me to do, including taking care of all their stuff, like calling bill collectors, calling rental offices, doing all the heavy lifting physically, not kidding, and I'm talking heavy shit, building things for them, because I can build things, unbelievably, I can. Never had any training, I just do it. Taking care of mom's screw-ups, when she went to the doctor and ran her mouth and they wouldn't give her the drugs, and she's a total drug addict. She called people and piss them off. I'd have to call and straighten it out. And when she calls people and pisses them off, she does a good job of it, believe me. She's constantly doing irrational things. My sisters are the most abusive bitches you've ever met in your entire life. They, they don't have a clue, what I went through because of them. They don't even care. I'll just put it that way. They don't care, but the point that I'm trying to make is that I spent 12 years, trying to make it up for being gone for 20 out of the family. Well, the reason I was gone was because, they're abusive. I tried to hide from my mom several times, and she found me when I was really young in my 20s and stuff, because I knew that that's what was messing me up, and I was trying to get away from it. And I was getting some support at that time from a CETA program over in Boise, Idaho, but she still found me and still terrorized me, and her men, still tried to have sex with me, and physically accosted me, and one of them French kissed me in front of her in a restaurant, and she did nothing about it. He grabbed me and stuck his tongue down my throat, kind of a thing, and I was like 18 years old barely, but she did nothing about it. Then he tried to fill me up at another man at a friend's of ours house, and mom stood there and did nothing about it, and the friend had to step in and push him off of me. So these are things that I went through with my mother, and if you don't think that that didn't screw my mind up, you guys need to, think again, because it did. But, I've got to say, I came through the other side, and I did it because I knew that my vengeance was going to be okay. No matter what they did to me, I was going to be okay. Okay? So, but anyway, I put up with their shit until I honestly could not take it one more second. And I just said, I'm done with you guys. Don't contact me. Don't call me. Don't come to my house. Leave me alone. And that's where it left. I left it. And I tried staying in contact with my dad for a little while after that, until one day I remembered that when I was 9 years old, and this is the way it was for me growing up. When I was 9 years old, I was at the dinner table with everybody else, Sharon, Pam, and me, us girls, and Mom and Dad, over in Parma, Idaho, middle of summer, 109 degrees in the shade. You could fry eggs on the sidewalk. It was that hot. And we were sitting there eating, and I said something, just playing around, that Dad didn't like. And he told me to go sit in the closet, the hall closet out by the front door, and I mean, and he was pissed, and I was very afraid of my dad because I've been beaten by him several times. So I did what he told me to do. Sharon and Pam still stayed at the table. They were saying just as many rotten, cocky, sassy things as I was, but they were still at the table. And I sat in that closet in 100 and something degrees, sweat rolling off of me for over an hour, until finally I whimpered out, "Dad, can I come out of the closet now?" And he says, "Oh, I completely forgot about you, Robin." And everybody just busted up laughing. They thought it was hilarious. And of course, me, I was completely crushed. I was. I mean, it completely broke me to be treated like that. And that right there, that's thing that happened, was exactly the epitome of my whole life with these people. I meant zero to them. Never meant anything to these people. Nothing I ever did was good enough. No, nothing I said was right. Nothing I wore was right. The way I looked was never right. Nothing about me was ever good enough for these people. And they let me know every stinking day of my life, too, that I was around them. And that's why I was gone for 20-something years. But I was getting older, and I wanted to have some kind of connection with a family. So for the last 12 years, I've been trying. So, one moment, please. Now, I moved here, and the first thing that happened the first year I was here was Pam telling me, that I wasn't as strong of a person as she thought I was, which was pretty much a joke because she can't handle anything, physically or emotionally, especially emotionally. She's a wreck, and I had gone through all this crap with them all my life, and I was 40 something when I got here. So, I think I'm pretty much stronger than her and stronger than she'll ever be, 'cause she's never had to deal with what I've had to deal with. So anyway, but I'm getting up to this point. Okay, so here I'm sitting, and I have these health problems, and this is what, all this boils around. Okay, I have post-traumatic stress syndrome from the way I was treated, and I know that. I'm aware of it. I acknowledge it, and I know that I have a broken psyche pretty much. I'm pretty much damaged goods emotionally, but I can function because I am aware of what's wrong with me, and I know when I'm okay, not thinking right about this because of something that happened in the past. And it can be done. Anybody can do it if they work on it. I preferred not to act like a crazy person, so I got help to figure out why I acted the way I did so I could correct it. Okay? So I know that I have these issues, and I know I'm broken, but that doesn't mean I can't function and I can't be a nice person. I try every day I get up, I put my best foot forward. That's my motto. I put my best foot forward every day I get out of bed. And every day I try to do something nice and do something nice for myself, and I try to be very polite to people. And I'm not a perfect person, and I am a little sassy, but I do it out of fun, not because I'm trying to be mean or anything. Okay, so, but I have these health problems, and they get in the way, and then they affect me emotionally as well. Number one health problem I have is I have silent migraines. Now, there's no way in hell I can tell you what those silent migraines do to me. You literally have to have one in order to understand, because they are so awful. They mess you up royally, emotionally, physically. Your whole body overreacts to everything. Your hearing overreacts to everything. Your emotions overreact to everything. And I'm trying to deal with this, right? I started having them, and I think basically it's because of the stress that I was under, you know, and stuff. But I started having them, and I thought I was losing my mind. And I went to 5 different doctors until I finally got a neurologist, Dr. Nalaver in Portland, over and actually in Milwaukee, Oregon, diagnosed me. They're silent migraines, you know. It shows up as 2 large, white, glowing, like, I mean, bright light, not like just dull white, but bright light, white spots right on the top of my head here and stuff. And it's always there. You know, sometimes it calms down, sometimes it doesn't. But I wake up every morning with one, and there's nothing I can do about it. There's no medications for it, no nothing. It's just, that's just the way it is. You know, it's neurons. What are you going to do about fucking neurons? Excuse me. What are you going to do about neurons, okay? Neurons and nerves, they're like firing off, you know, doing their crazy thing. Okay, so, you know, I'm not able to handle, you know, a lot of stress anymore, and I can't handle a lot of noise, you know, and I definitely can't handle barking dogs, and I can't handle bass music. Oh, it kills me, you know, it absolutely makes me want to pull my hair out, and there's just no way to describe how sensitive your body becomes because of these stupid migraines. There isn't, you know, and then I'm diabetic on top of it now, also because of the stress. So I came to Oregon, I had a 6-pack on my stomach, you know, I had tight arms, tight legs, tight stomach, and I was skinny, and I was healthy, and I mean, I looked good, okay? And I look 10 years younger than I do now. I mean, I've aged 10 years since I've been here, and I've been here 12 years, you know? So, you know, anyway, you know, I come here and I'm that healthy, and 12 years later, because of the stress of my family and the stress of people not understanding my health problems and stuff and what they've put me through because of it, you know, this is where I sit, right? Okay, bringing me to the last situation that I'm in. I came to Tall Oaks Apartments a year, well, November the 28th in 2011, it was, actually. And I came here and I looked at this apartment that I'm in right now, the one behind me, okay? Anyway, I looked at it and I just fell in love with it. It doesn't look very good from this angle, but it is a really cute apartment. So, you know, and then every time I went to look up, I looked at it 3 times. Every time I went to come upstairs to look at it with this guy, Craig, that works here as a maintenance guy, this dog was barking, you know. And I said, listen, the first time it happened, I said, I can't handle barking dogs. You know, I can't handle it. I said, I have these migraine headaches. I said, and I can't deal with it. You know, I simply cannot deal with it. You know, and he says, no, he says, he just barks for a few minutes, right, you know, after they leave. You know, I said, well, what time do they go to work? And he says, I don't know. You know, so lie, okay. You know, and then, you know, 3 times. I said, you know, it happened 3 separate times. I said, okay, you need to know the last time and the second time I said it too. I told him 3 different times. I cannot handle barking dogs. I said, if there's a lot of barking dogs here, please tell me. I will go somewhere else, okay? I promise you, no hard feelings. I will go somewhere else, okay? I just do not want to be in a situation where I have to complain about barking dogs. Lie. No barking dogs here, no. You know, and I guess it was the time of day that I was here or something, but I didn't see all these dogs around here, right? So to make a long story short, I get moved in, and every goddamn day for 8 fucking months, and I'm not going to apologize for cussing right now, I had to listen to this dog down here bark from 7:30 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon every goddamn day. And I had a headache, and I thought I was going to go insane from the pressure in my head from those headaches. It was so severe. I mean, I really thought I was going to lose it. I did. There was times where I wanted to go in, get in my car and drive off into the desert for a couple of weeks because I simply couldn't handle it anymore. You know, it was bad. You don't even know until you have one of these headaches and have to put up with that on top of it. It's bad enough without having that kind of noise. So anyway, and I fought him and I fought him and I fought him. Well, they finally got told 8 months later that if they didn't shut the dog up, 8 months fucking later, you know, after my life's ruined, my rent's paid, you know, I'm not doing anything. They finally get told, you know, that they shut the dog up or they get evicted, right? Okay, fine. So now we're over that, you know. Then this other dog over here starts. You know, as soon as this dog shuts up, this dog over here starts. And it barks all day long and sometimes all night long. You know, they have never done anything about that damn dog. Okay? Put up with that from November 28th, 2011 to, what's the date today? May 14th, 2013. That's what's going on, okay? So I put up with that, you know, and then through all of this, you know, I'm like reaching out for people. This is really important part. I'm reaching out for people. And I'm saying, come on, guys, I need your help. You know, I'm serious. I mean, I'm like sobbing sometimes because I'm so distraught. And I'm telling them, you don't understand. You know, I can't help it. I seriously can't help it. I can't stop it. It is a medical issue. I'm bringing letter after letter from my doctors to these asshole people, these unfeeling, couldn't raise an ounce of fucking compassion if their life depended on it. You know, people, you know, trying to get them to understand what I'm going through, right? No compassion. Are you kidding me? Why would I, Robin Ward, you know, get any compassion? Yeah, fuck you, Robin. You know, so I sit here and I suffer alone silently, you know, slowly going out of my mind, questioning my sanity, you know, just wanting to crawl in a hole somewhere or curl up in a ball in a corner and never come out. I mean, I'm serious. This shit went through my head, you know, and I am a strong person. I can beat anybody mentally, you know, until I have one of those headaches. And then it's like, just kill me now because I can't handle this anymore. So it's like night and day, right? It's like 180-degree turn just because of a medical issue, you know, that I have no control over. I have no control over it. Period. Okay? So, anyway, hold on a minute, please. So, I'm dealing with this dog over here now, right? Well, I can shut the window, suffocate in this hot-ass apartment, but shut the window and shut out some of the noise so it's at least bearable, okay? But it still pisses me off because now Cray is going around, you know, trying to make up these lies about how the dog doesn't really exist and he can't hear the dog and nobody else can hear the dog but me, okay? Can you fucking believe this shit? I mean, come on, right? You know, so every time I have somebody over at the house, you know, that's here for me, I ask them, can you hear that dog barking? And they said, yeah, I can hear it. You know, everybody else can hear it but the people that live in this apartment complex, right? So, and if that's not bad enough, there's this other chick that has this three-legged dog that she brings out 8 or 9 times a day that stands there and barks for 20 minutes every time. You know, it's like, gee, thank you very much, you know. And then that dog's not barking, the dog back here is barking. And when that dog's not barking, the dog over there is barking. Do you get my point? I asked them 3 times, is there any barking dogs in this park? I can't, in this apartment complex. I can't handle it, right? Okay, so I'm being abused verbally. I'm being abused emotionally. I'm being persecuted, and I mean persecuted by this Cray guy. I mean, he's going around telling everybody how much of a bitch I am. And he's not making a secret of it. And I'm verbally accosted and physically threatened by one of the people that he ran his little nasty mouth to out in the breezeway out in front of my apartment. I mean, to the point where the neighbor next door, who I had never even met, came down and got in Craig's face about it because he knew what was going on, and he knew I didn't do nothing to deserve it. So, okay, so we're up to almost to the present part here. So then, as time goes on, these neighbors down below me, this Jeff guy that lives down there, he doesn't like me. It's just, how you meet somebody and you just instantly don't like them. Well, it was mutual. But when I first moved in here, his girlfriend Ashley told me, just right to my face, well, we were kind of hoping somebody wouldn't move in. We really didn't want to live under somebody, but we didn't want to live upstairs either, and we liked this apartment better, but gosh, we just really wish somebody wouldn't have moved in. And that's basically was my first meeting with her the first week I was here. And I just kind of ignored it. Well, throughout all this other stuff, okay, and I'm not bullshitting you. This is going to sound like I'm some kind of paranoid crazy woman. But through all this other shit that I'm dealing with, all this other barking dog bullshit and being persecuted and accosted and every damn thing else, I'm dealing with these assholes down below me. And every fucking time I get up to move around in my apartment and stuff, they start slamming and banging around down there, trying to make me feel bad. And I mean slamming and banging, okay? And then they wake up at 4:30 in the morning, slam, 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 and just, I put up with it for about a year and 3 months until I finally just couldn't handle it anymore. And I called the manager, Bonnie, and I told her what was going on. I asked her if she would please speak to them. And guess what happened? I got a no-cause eviction. Surprised, aren't you? After this whole story, aren't you a little surprised? I know I was. I said, oh, wow, a no-cause eviction. Gee, what in the hell is wrong with that picture, right? So, here I go. I'm like, I couldn't even breathe. I was so upset. I have never been evicted from a place ever, right? I pay my rent. I have a clean home. I don't bother anybody. All I'm trying to do is survive. See, because all these damn things that are affecting me emotionally are affecting me physically, right? And me being of the age of 53, being diabetic, and having the nerve dysfunction I have, and the headaches that I have and stuff, are affecting everything else. Well, guess what the most important thing is they're affecting? My poor little eyes. Since I have had the stress and the diabetes, I've had to have 3 surgeries on my right eye and 2 on my left, trying to, to fix them so they'll work. I have floaters galore. I have 2 detached vitreous in them, 1 in each eye. The inner lining of the pupil is just floating around in there on both eyes, and all this shit is due to the stress. It's due to simple stress the horrible, actually, stress that I've been under since I've been in Oregon, basically, in the way I've been treated by people here, which hasn't been all that great. So, so this, and, I get this no-cause eviction, and I'm like, holy crap, what the hell am I going to do? I'm sitting here, I'm so sick that I can't even clean my tub right now because I'm so sick. And I'm strong. I mean, physically, I'm normally very strong. I'm not even half as strong as I used to be, but I'm still pretty damn strong because I'm not a small woman, and I've always done hard labor work, and I loved it. I built up some pretty damn good muscles. So even though I lost muscles, I still have more than the average woman because of the work I used to do. So the reason I'm saying this is how weak I am. I can't use my arms right now to hardly at all to clean my tub. They won't work. My legs, it's like lifting, lead, and stuff. It's just boom, it hit me. And this hit me before I got that because of the stress that I've been under for the last year and a half, pretty much. So, it's like, I know this, I know that I'm like coming apart at the seams physically. you know, and I'm barely hanging on emotionally. I mean, it's like, I'm like, oh shit, you know. I mean, it's like I'm going in and out of this like reality thing going, this can't be real. This can't really be happening to me. I didn't do anything. You know, why isn't she evicting them? You know, they're the ones that woke me up at 4:30 in the morning, right? You know, nope, I'm the one. And, you know, it turns out that it wasn't Bonnie that did it. The property manager, it was Laura Lunsden. Lunsden? Yeah, Lunsden at Princeton Management. Laura Lunsden is her name. Remember that name. So, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure out what the hell to do. I call housing discrimination. They start a suit for me immediately because it was obvious discrimination. You know, they have in documentation, letter form signed by 2 different doctors, 2 letters from my neurologist and 1 from my regular physician about what this kind of stress does to me physically and how it is such a detriment to my health, right? In writing. But I'm being evicted, you know. And it's just cruel. It's just the cruelest thing that, you know, okay. So now I'm getting a little upset because I've never been treated this badly, you know, even by my mother, you know, which was pretty bad. No, wait a minute, she did treat me worse. But, you know, what I'm saying is that I didn't deserve this, even a little bit. Not even a little bit, you know. So, okay, so we're up to today, right? I decided that this is not worth fighting. You know, I want to move. I don't want to be around people that don't like me. Anyway, why should I want to be, you know? So, and they're not stopping the bullshit anyway, you know. So, you know, but I really wish that God would let me stay and make sure that they have to suffer, but he's not going to let me, and it's not the right thing to do anyway. So I'm going to leave. I'm going to be the bigger person again, you know, and I'm going to leave. So I'm trying to work it out to where Laura Lunsden will rescind the no cause and put it in writing, give me back my deposit the day I leave, and I'm out of here. And I'm hoping that it'll be May 3rd. And this is March 14th, so it won't be too much longer. I'm going to have to lose everything because I'm not staying in Oregon anymore. I've never been treated so horribly in my entire life as I have from Oregonians. There's been very few of them that have had any compassion for me at all. I don't know what's wrong with them. Yeah, and it's not me, you know. It's not me. I am a nice person. I treat everybody with respect, you know. I treat them with respect until they do something that basically states they don't deserve it. Okay? And they have to do something pretty bad for me to not respect them. You know, I'm not that judgmental of a person at all. I give people a lot of leeway. I give them a lot of rope, you know. So here I am. Okay, I'm sitting here, and I've got this damn no cause in my hand, and I'm like frantic in my mind, you know, bouncing here and there. What the hell am I going to do? I don't have any money. But mostly, you know, I honestly don't have the wellness or the strength physically to deal with packing and moving and trying to find a place. And where the hell am I going to move anyway? Nobody in this state gives a shit about sick people. You know, nobody cares that, you know, people have problems and can't handle a bunch of stress. They don't care. Actually, what they do like to do is they like to add more stress to you so you really suffer. And I'm not joking either. People these days are pretty damn cruel. I'll tell you what, you let them know a weakness and they'll piss all over you in a second flat. And they'll just sit there and they'll find a sore spot and they'll sit there and poke like this. This is what they're like. That's what people are like now. Poke, 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 poke. Don't ever let them see you're down at all. Let me tell you. Don't show any weakness. For 53 fucking years, I was strong. Okay? 53 fucking years. I endured bullshit after bullshit and torture for my fucking family. Okay? Here's a good question for you. When does Robin Ward get a time where she can be weak for a minute. Let me know. Send me an email, text me, whatever. But somebody fucking let me know when it's okay for me to have a moment of weakness and be shown kindness and compassion for it, too. Okay? Not poke, 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 but kindness and compassion about the fact that I'm not feeling very good right now. Okay? Somebody let me know. Send me a text, okay? So, all right. So I'm already distraught, right? Okay. So we've established that pretty well, too. So I'm distraught and I'm sitting there. First thing I do is I pick up the phone and I call my caseworker, Kelly Alford. I call her again. 4 days later, I call her again. 6 days later, I call her again. 3 weeks later, still nothing. Can't even get an email from this woman. Okay, now this is the only support system I have, is this woman, right? I'm at the worst time that I've been in because of my physical health and stuff in my entire life. I might have had problems emotionally because of people, but I always had my physical strength to rely on. And now I don't have that because of my illnesses, right? So I'm at the worst point of my life, really, and I'm scared. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm scared shitless. And this woman, she just shuts me out. She doesn't even bother to call me. To this day, I got that letter on February the 23rd, I believe. It was a Saturday. I'm not sure about it, but and that woman has not called me yet, and it's March 14th. Still has not called me on the damn phone. Has only sent me 2 emails. So, and I'm like, I sent her an email, and I asked her, I said, are you mad at me? Because I thought maybe I did something that I didn't know I did. And she sent me an email back saying, no, I'm not mad at you, Robin. If I was mad at you, I'd tell you. And that's all I heard from her. Until today, I finally got a business, or actually last night, I finally got a business email about trying to round up some help for me. So, for my move and stuff. So anyway, this crushed me. I mean, and it did, because I had a lot of respect for Kelly, and I cared about her. I didn't just use her for a sounding board and to listen to my wah problems. I cared about her as a person, and I let her know that I cared about her as a person. I asked about her well-being. I made sure that she knew that I understood how busy she was. I was patient with her. And then here I sit. Nobody to lean on, right? So I'm thinking, oh, wow. Imagine that. Okay, I was born at the age of 6 months. My mom almost killed me because she wouldn't take me to the goddamn hospital when I had 3rd degree chicken pox and 106 degree temperature. She tried to kill me many other times, not taking care of me, and stuff. She was so messed up when she was carrying me. It's a wonder I was even born, because the way she was treating herself and arguing with Dad, and Dad was like running away from her, hiding from her, which should have been his first fucking clue, and stuff, but, what I'm saying is from the goddamn day I was fucking born, okay? I have not had anyone to rely on. And so from April 26, 1959 at 11:30 a.m. I was born. This is March 14th, 2013. Not one person in there has ever been there for me. I've been there for everybody that's ever been in my life, though. I helped Jim get his disability and get his back surgery. I helped Mom for 30, 40 years. I helped Sharon. I helped Pam. start her restaurant that she's still running 10 years later, but never would help me with my business when I wanted to start one. Left me hanging. I helped Dad, I helped Cece, I helped Glinda, I helped Dana, I helped Dawn, you name it. I helped them, right? I was there for everybody, right? I was there for Lauren and Rachel too, and Michael. Oh, Michael. I was there for Michael. And you know what? That fucker couldn't even remember my damn name. I loved him so much that I I would worship the ground that man walked on. I loved him so much. And he couldn't even remember that I was the person that helped him move shit into his cabin up on Wine Glass. He sat there and told me a story about how a friend of his came up and helped him move his stuff into his cabin and how much fun they had. And I looked at him and I just looked at him and I said, "That was me, Michael." And he was like really embarrassed. He was. I mean, turned beet red. Yeah, he did. Couldn't even remember that it was me that did it. I would have done anything for him. So basically what I think today is this. First of all, I have no idea what God has in store for me. You know, it's probably going to be a doozy. You know, usually when really bad stuff like this happens, something really good comes out of it. And that's what I'm hoping and praying is going to be the situation. Because obviously I could use a break. Seriously, I could use a break, okay? You know, so, but, you know, I don't know why people can't care about me. I don't know. I think I'm funny, you know, I think that, you know, I have a wonderful personality. I'm extremely intelligent. You know, I have gumption galore. You know, I mean, nobody's perfect, right? And that's what I always say. It's like, why does this fucked up individual over here, you know, that, I mean, is so whiny and pathetic, you know, get all the love, you know? I don't know. I don't get it. It's bringing tears to my eyes. You'll have to excuse me for a second. But, you know, they get all the love. Me, you know, I just sit here alone. I have my cat Rambler, you know, who I love. He's an asshole most of the time, but I love him. You know, I mean, he has the right to be an asshole. His first 5 years was spent with really rotten people. I didn't get him until he was 5 years old. But he's happy now, and he loves me. But I can't talk to him. You know what I mean? He thinks I'm like being weird when I try to talk to him. But it doesn't matter anyway, even if, you know, I could talk to him. It's like, it's not what I need. What I need is human contact. You know, I honestly haven't had any human contact since I left Michael, or I kicked Michael out. You know, he was the last person that I was close to. You know, really. And then, oh, wow, excuse me, I'm sorry, Cece. I've lost a lot of people out of my life because of drugs and alcohol, too. I used to party, you know, I'm not ashamed of it. But I quit because I grew up, and they didn't. They never quit. They're still using, and they're really messed up because of it, too. So, you know, I mean, the last time I talked to Cece, you know, I was pretty angry with her because we were really close for about 11 years, and she got drunk one night, and she told all my secrets to her neighbor getting drunk one night. Fucking bitch. And you know, when people are using and stuff, they never change emotionally. And it's like the same stories that you know, like the things that you did with them 20 years ago, because they haven't seen you for, you know, well, let's say 10 years ago. You know, the things we did together then is all they remember because they can't move on. You know, they can't, like, you know, get into today. You know what I mean? That's an alcoholics thing, you know, and stuff. I used to go to meetings with my ex-husband, Don, and Jim. They were both alcoholics. So they can't live in today, you know. And they never change. They don't change anything. They do the same thing all the time. They do the same thing over and over, expecting different results, right? You know, and here I am. I'm moving along at a, you know, reasonably fast pace. Once I get away from all these sickos, you know, I'm growing and I'm changing and my life is changing, and I don't want to be around alcoholics anymore. You know, figure out, you know, hey, you know, it's like not much fun, you know, and stuff. So, you know, I get away from it, you know, and I start changing, you know, and I grow up, you know, and I mean, you don't have to be an alcoholic to not grow up. You just have to hang around one long enough and you'll stay with them. If you're sick enough, you know, and stuff, you know, you can stay sick with them. You know, it's called codependency, by the way. So, you know, you can stay sick with them if you want, you know. You don't have to, you know, be an alcoholic and drink and everything else. You can be just as sick as they are, you know. And I was for a long time, you know, until I learned the word codependency and found out what that was about, and went to some Al-Anon meetings, and, you know, and went to some therapy with a real therapist, you know, a psychologist. That was all I needed, was some tools to work with. And I got them, and boy, I tell you, I've just been flying ever since. But, you know, like I said before earlier in my little video here, you know, the damage was already done. You know, you can't fix those kind of things, as broken as they are in me. Okay, this is the thing. This is the only thing I can figure, okay, is that there's this disease of children, babies. It happens when they're babies, where they don't bond with their mother. Okay? I think that's what happened to me. Except I'm not like, okay, so, you know, some of these children are very angry and they're aggressive, you know, and they act out a lot. I don't do that. I never did. You know, I was always very passive, you know, and stuff. But I don't know how to bond with anybody, you know, because of what happened to me. And, you know, and that's sad, you know, and I can't fix that, you know, and nobody will stick around long enough to break through my barriers and stuff, you know. So, you know, I guess I'm not worth it. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what it feels like. So, you know, and it's sad. It makes me sad. It brings tears to my eyes. You know, I really want to bond with somebody. I really do. You know, I need somebody in my life. You know, but there's nobody there that's willing to even stay long enough to do it. Nobody even tries anymore. You know, and it's so weird, because when I was with all these alcoholics and you know, and druggies and stuff, it's like, you know, I wasn't alone. You know, I just wasn't alone. I wasn't happy, you know, but I wasn't alone. There was always somebody there to talk to, you know. And, you know, and now that I'm not with them, it's like I'm alone. I haven't had anybody in my life since then. So it can be really confusing too. And I think, well, you know, maybe, you know, I just don't know how to interact. So, you know, I watch people and I see how they interact. You know, it's not rocket science, you know, and I try to do it. And I change my personality, right? And I change my personality. And I change my personality again. And I try saying different things to people, and you know, I do everything I can, you know, to try to fit in. You know, and then I think, well, maybe I'm trying too hard. So I stop trying so hard. And I just act laid back and easygoing, you know, which is actually my normal state. You know, I don't like having to try to make anybody like me. You know, there's nothing so wrong with me that people shouldn't like me. You know, that's just a fact. I don't give a shit what anybody says. You know, so sue me. I have flipping headaches. You know, what is the big deal? I mean, really. You know, that makes me an evil person. Okay, if you say so. You know, so I don't know. And I ask for help too, you know, physically, and it's like, oh my God, who in the hell do I think I am, needing somebody to carry my damn groceries upstairs for me? Who the hell do I think I am? Talk about get my ass reamed over it. I'm telling you, you guys just wouldn't believe it. So, anyway, this is where I'm at right now, okay? I called my friend Sharon over in Boise. Her daughter answers the phone today. I'm really worried about Sharon because she's really sick, and I've been wanting to get over to Boise to see her. I've known her since I was 21 years old. That's 32 years. I'm actually going to be 54 next month, so that's 23 years ago I knew this woman. I've always looked up to her. I've always loved her and respected her. I enjoy her company when we talk on the phone, you know, and I mean, I've looked at her like a mother figure. I've always wished that she would have been my mother. You know, she's such an awesome person, right? So she's the second person I call when I get this news, you know. Well, she's going through a lot right now, and I know why she's going through a lot. She's got two really fucked up kids. You know, she's got a son and a daughter. She's 56 and he's a little bit younger. I think he's closer to my age and stuff. And they're alcoholics and drug addicts, and they're using still, and they won't do anything to help themselves. They're sucking her dry emotionally. She's totally crushed because she has nobody to depend on in her old age. She's very ill, you know. I mean, she's got like renal failure in her arms because of breast cancer that she had and went through chemo, and it ruined her glands, and her arms swell up like big damn balloons, you know, and stuff because they won't drain like they're supposed to because the glands are gone. They're broken. What's left of a couple of them is gone. It's broken, you know, so she's like really ill, right? And, you know, but every once in a while I need somebody sane to talk to bring me down off my little cliff that I'm on because of all this other shit that people are throwing at me. So I call her up and I talk to her, you know. And everything's been cool for like quite a few years. And then I noticed this last year or so, you know, she started changing, you know. And the stuff with her kids because of her health is just dragging her down really bad. And there's nothing I can do about it. And I just try to tell her, you can't keep letting them do that. You're not doing them any favors by continually bailing them out. My God, she pays her 56-year-old daughter's rent. She has paid that woman's rent her whole fucking life. Okay, her whole adult life. Her mother has paid her fucking rent because she can't stop drinking long enough to hold down a job, okay? Her mom dies first, you know. Then she gets into a big fight with her brother, who was totally horrible to her. He rips her off, you know, and everybody in the family's pissed off at her because her mom left her house, okay? So she's got her mom's house, you know, and it's in a really sweet area in Boise, and it's worth some money, but it needs to be fixed, you know, and stuff. But everybody besides her kids, you know, persecuting her, calling her a bitch, calling her every name in the damn book, and I'm serious, they did, you know, in persecuting her. You know, now she's got her brother persecuting her, and her sister's persecuting her, and other people, you know. It's like, why did Sharon get it? Well, guess why Sharon got it? Sharon got it because she was the only goddamn person there for her mom. Ever. You know, everybody else just came and just took and left. Sharon was the only person there for her mother. And plus the fact that Sharon helped pretty much keep the property until it was paid off from Sharon's wages. So yes, Sharon should have gotten it. Okay? So, I mean, you know, I'm sure, you know, as nice of a person as she was, she probably would have sold the property and split the money had everybody not been so crappy to her about it. But I wouldn't have either after the way they acted. So I'm watching my friend, my dear, dear friend. I mean, love her to death. Think of her as a mother figure going down the tubes emotionally as well. You know, and I'm climbing out of the hole, and here is she going in the hole. And she keeps saying all this crazy crap about trying to forgive her kids, and that, they're telling her how horrible of a parent she's been, and oh, I just want to go over there and just kick their asses. Because I'll tell you what, they want a horrible mom, they can have mine, okay? That's what a horrible mom is, okay? So they're running her in the ground, and finally they succeeded. To the point now to where I can't even call her and talk to her anymore, because she's just too distraught all the time now. She's depressed all the time, you know, and her health is failing her even more every day and stuff. And it'll continue because she has nothing to live for anymore. She just, she's not really trying to die, but she just really doesn't, she's given up. You know, and that's what happens. You get to a certain age when your health starts bothering you, it's hard to fight anymore. That's where I'm at. It's a perfect example. I honestly can tell you that if it wasn't for God in my life, I probably would have been dead by now, because He's the only strength I have left. I don't have any strength on my own anymore. There ain't none left in me. People have wrung it out of me. It's gone, gone, gone. They have sucked me dry. And I was a very deep well. But I'm worried about Sharon, because the last time I talked to her a few days ago, she was really bad. Right? So I'm sending her these texts, teasing her, and turns out that I didn't have her right cell phone number, so she wasn't even getting them, damn it. I was just trying to cheer her up, and I was leaving her messages, and stuff, and everything. And then I called again tonight because I just can't get her off my mind. And I wanted to tell her that everything was fine. I was working things out. She didn't need to worry. Please don't be stressed because you can't help, blah, blah, blah. And her fucking daughter answers the phone, Tanya. The useless drunk piece of shit that abuses her mother into nothingness, answers the phone and proceeds to tell me how they consider me an occasional friend, and they really wish that I would not call for a couple of months because mother can't handle it anymore. I am stressing her out, and they have their own life and their own things to deal with, and they really, really wished that I would carry on with my own life, that they don't mean me any harm or bad wishes, that they wish me well, and it just goes on and on from there. And if that wasn't bad enough, she proceeds to tell me about Boise. Okay, now here's a town that I grew up in, lived in for over 20 years. And I know it's changed since I've been gone. But I know how it's changed because I know a lot of people from Boise, okay? I do. So I've gotten updates and stuff. So, but this bitch is trying to tell me, how bad it is there. She doesn't want me to move to Boise, and stuff. She don't. I mean, we haven't liked each other from the word go. I've tolerated her because of her mother. That's it. I never liked her. So anyway, and she says, why don't you move to Washington? They have really good, stuff there, like, for people that don't want to work, kind of thing, like, I don't know what she called it. I can't remember right now. But, I said, I'm not moving to Washington. I'm moving to Boise. And she says, you just don't want to be here. She says, why don't you try, and I interrupted her. I said, you know what, Tanya? I said, I really can handle this. She said, yeah, but you need to go on the internet and just type in the search engine. And I'm talk to me like I was some kind of goddamn imbecile. I mean, do I seem like an imbecile to you? Seriously? And I just sat there because of her mother sitting in the other room, totally distraught, and I took it off her for her mother's sake. you know, and I was kind, and I was sympathetic, and the only remark I made was that I felt like she was giving me the kiss off, you know, but I had to say that so that she was aware of the fact that she's not as fucking smart as she thinks she is. Okay? So, and that really, I mean, it stopped her dead in her tracks. It did. It totally fucking stopped her dead in her tracks. She no longer treated me like I was an imbecile. You know, it stopped. You know, because I have a lot of patience, and I will do anything for people I love, but I won't take too much of that shit off of people. That's just rude, you know. So anyway, here I'm sitting, and I'm like, after I get off the phone, I'm going, I'm not going to blame Sharon for this. You know, it's not her fault. And I know she cares about me. She just can't right now because of what's going on. And I understand that. But, up to date. Here's Robin's up-to-date news. I now have lost Kelly, my only source of support here. And now I've lost my friend Sharon. And I don't have my family, which is a really stupid statement because I really never did, you know. But, you know, that's it. Up to date. That's where I'm at right now. Now, I don't know if I did something really horrible in my past life or something. It had to have been that. You know, the only thing I can think of is in my past life I was some rich blonde bitch that everybody admired and sucked up to and stuff, and I needed to learn what it was like to not have anybody. Well, guess what? I get it. That was a joke, by the way. I'm kind of cynical in my joking these days. But not really. I kind of feel that way. So anyway, I have no idea what's going to happen. I just needed to document it because everything's like rushing in on me pretty fast. And, you know, I did make the decision to sell everything except for my electronics, my computer, my TVs. You know, I got too much money into them, could not even sell them for even close to what I paid for them. So I'm going to save all my electronics, you know, and stuff, my, you know, blankets, sheets, you know, personal things, clothes, dishes. I'm not getting rid of my dishes either. My plates and shit I don't care about. My pots and pans I do. And they're not cheap. You know, I've gathered them from secondhand stores, and they're expensive ones. Renaware, R-E-N-A, Renaware. Yeah, have you heard of it? Very expensive. So, that kind of stuff is going with me. But, you know, I'm going to head out. And I have no idea where I'm going to end up. I'm going to start out on the 3rd of May. Me and Rambler. I'm even going to take the front seat out of my van so that people know I don't fucking want anybody in my car. Nobody can be there for me. They ain't going to fucking suck a ride off of me. I don't help people anymore. Oh, I lied. I help Mary Jo. I love Mary Jo, though. Forgot to tell you about Mary Jo. She's a little 73-year-old gal that lived here. And she moved out recently, and she had an apartment over near me, and then Dino had one across the way and stuff, and they both moved out and moved into a really nice house. I'm so happy for them. Oh my God, did they hit the jackpot. It is so beautiful out there. Clear out in the middle of nowhere. It's farmland. It's a nice, huge ranch house. Outbuildings, double garage, a shed, you know, tons of property around it. Oh my God, but they deserve it. You know, they earned it, believe me. And they're nice people. You know, but then again, you know, it's like she's a friend. She's somebody I can talk to, and somebody that will help me if she can and stuff. But she's 73 years old, and I'm not going to lean on her a lot. And that's just the end of it. And Dino has enough on his plate. He takes care of Jeff, this guy that has brain injury, on a permanent basis. They live together in the house with him and his mom. And, and then he helps his mom. He has to deal with everything. And I know what that's like. I've done it. So, as much as I love her, oh, but the biggest thing is that they, she uses pot to control her pain. And she has a lot of pain. She had cancer really bad, and she's got an ostomy. And it comes with pain. It's never gone. I don't know why they can't make it different than that, but they were, they haven't gotten more advanced in it yet. But she's in a lot of pain, and so she uses pot to control her pain. She has a medical, certificate for it. And I can't stand to be around this stuff, She keeps wanting me to come out. Well, when I helped them move, I helped them move a van load of stuff when they were almost done, and all they needed was just a little bit more stuff, I helped them move a little bit out to their new place and stuff. Their apartments would just reeked of pot. And I don't know if you've ever been around a pot-ridden apartment or house, but it is a nasty-ass smell. And you can't get it out of your clothes until you wash them. You can't even stand outside and air your stuff out, because once it gets in there, it's in there. I came home, and as soon as I walked into my apartment, all I could smell was my clothes. So, because all three of them use it, for one reason or another, So I can't be a part of that. I just can't. As much as I love her, and as much as I would love to spend some time with her and Dino and Jeff, I can't. So I just keep making excuses, like my eyes are bothering me, the weather's bad, and I'm going to be out of here, May 3rd, I'm going to be out of here, and then I won't have to make any excuses. I don't want to hurt her feelings, See, I do care about people. I really do. I don't respect very many people anymore, but I do care about them. And to this day, I still love Michael. Always will. He was my dream cowboy. I loved him. Always will. He probably doesn't even know I existed. After all, he couldn't even remember that I'm the one that helped him move the damn, 6-foot long fucking dresser up a big flight of steps in the top of his cabin up on the wine glass. And how we almost slid off the hill, the mountainside, because the back of the truck was so heavy it couldn't get front traction, and it was a front-wheel drive. We started sliding backwards. He did it in the middle of the damn winter. Oh, my God. Went backwards about 100 feet down the damn road, going about 20 miles an hour. He steered into the mountain. It bumped into the edge of the mountain and stuff. He was hoping that he'd catch tires in the ditch or something, but it didn't. And then it bumped so hard that it pushed it forward, and we stopped, and the front of the tires were on the edge of the cliff that went down like this, very deep, right? And stuff, and it just stopped. And we could not see ground in front of us, And he just started screaming at me, "Get out of the truck, Robin. Get out of the truck, Robin." So I got out of the truck. I was afraid to open the door. I'll be honest, I was really afraid. So, and then there was these crazy Scandinavian guys, 2 brothers, that came down and rescued us. And they pulled Michael's, truck up the rest of the way up the hill, and I rode with them. I didn't get back in the truck. So, but anyway, that was the kind of times I had with Michael. Oh my God, he was crazy. That guy was just something else. I liked him because he was a really free spirit, and I've always been a really free spirit, so that's why I fell in love with him. He was just, he was cool, except that, he I don't know why he couldn't love me, he always said he didn't love me, but yet I was the first one he came to when he came in town, and I was the one he came and sat with if we were down at the bar, and I was the one he came and got when, I Swear started playing on the jukebox to dance with. But he didn't love me. That's what he said, and he made sure everybody knew he didn't love me. And he played it like that for so many years that I finally just couldn't handle it anymore. It's like, fine, you don't want to admit you love me more than you say, then I can't be with you anymore. And I made him leave, and I haven't seen him since. I seen him one time in the parking lot before I left Livingston, Montana. But he was the love of my life. He was. Never loved anybody since. And before, not like that. But he couldn't admit it. So, anywho's, I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. I even tried to call, like, news stations, about this no cause thing. This is a problem, this no cause thing. I'm not the only one suffering from this. These rich people can just kick you out any damn time they want. They don't even have to have a reason. It's called a no cause eviction, And it's not supposed to go against you because it is a no cause eviction, but it does. It goes on your credit report. It goes, like, I'm on Section 8, so it went into my file at Section 8 as a detriment against me, and nobody wants to rent to me. So, okay, this is what I decided. I decided these people aren't worth fighting. I don't care about this place anymore. Like I said, I don't want to be anywhere. Nobody wants me anyway. These people don't like me. I don't care anymore why they don't like me. Okay? It doesn't matter. It's not important to me anymore. I'm seriously done with it. So I decided I'm just going to leave. I'm going to go back to Idaho. If I get there, something might happen along the way to make me stop somewhere else. I don't know. Okay? So this is what I'm going to do. I called Bonnie and I told her. I said, this is what I'd like to see happen. I said, I'd like to see them drop the no cause. I said, and I told her why. Vonnie did not want me to move. She wanted me to stay here because we get along fine. I don't like Craig. He don't like me, but we tolerate each other. He knows I'm smarter than he is, so he don't try to play his games anymore. But me and Vonnie, we get along fine. We've had a few problems, yelled at each other a few times, but we worked it out, and we actually are fine, But, so I told her what this no cause thing was doing and what it does to everybody and stuff. And she says it's not supposed to. I said, yeah, but it does. Because nobody evicts you for no reason. So it's really a stupid thing. It's like a no cause eviction. Hello. You think, okay, I'm a landlord, right? And somebody's coming up to me and they have a no cause eviction on their thing. I'm saying, what happened? Because obviously something happened to make them want you to leave. Okay, with me, it was my health and me not being able to handle the barking dogs and me, having to make them deal with the barking dog issues because I told them before I moved in that I couldn't handle. And I could not handle moving again right now. So I had to make them deal with it. And then I had to be able to get my sleep. 4:30 in the morning, hello, So, I didn't do anything wrong. But that's what I would have had to tell people. And they're going, oh, wait a minute here. Why would I want a person that can't handle stuff? Okay? They're a troublemaker. They have sicknesses that interfere with the peace and joy of everybody else's life. Okay? Now, I know that's an insane statement. I don't know if you're going to get it, but I know that's insane. Because that's really backwards. Because I'm the one that's not getting the peace and joy because of other people's rudeness. Okay? My dog is not sitting there barking for 8-9 hours straight, disturbing somebody else's peace and quiet. I'm not slamming cabinets at 4:30 in the morning, waking my neighbors up. I'm not stomping around and slamming doors, every time that the person below me, gets up and moves around. Okay, you get the point? But I am the problem because I can't handle those kind of things. I can't handle somebody picking on me day in and day out, just because they don't like living underneath somebody. And stated that to me when I moved in. I can't handle somebody's dog barking 8 hours a day. Solid. sharp, loud, shrill bark. Okay? So, I get the no cause. And because I can't handle that, I won't find another place to rent. Not with the no cause hanging over my head. So I tell Vonnie this, and she's like horrified. She's really upset about it. You know, and everything. And we talk about it for a little bit, and she offered to go talk to Laura. I didn't ask her to. She offered to. So she went and talked to Laura, and then she came back, and she was kind of pissy. I don't know what happened. I think Laura reamed her ass about it. But, she took a big chance doing that, and I respect her for that. I have a lot of respect for her for doing that, because Laura is a mean bitch. I'm telling you, there ain't nothing there. No feelings, period. Zero. Empty woman. Not even 1 ounce of compassion for anybody. Okay? She's a machine. So, and she tells me that Laura can't talk to me because of the discrimination suit I got against him. And I said, I understand that. I have already emailed my housing discrimination caseworker and asked him to do a conciliation. And then I told her everything I said to him, and that I wanted the conciliation to consist of them writing a letter stating that they're rescinding the no cause. I will vacate the apartment. I will sign anything they want stating that I'm to vacate the apartment on a certain day. I will leave the apartment in perfect order that I found it, in, and I won't cause any problems, about it. I will do what I say, which, is a given for me anyway. I always do what I say. I'm like one of the best tenants you could ever have. I don't break anything. I fix things. If I see something broken, I know I can fix it. I fix it. I save you money even. And I do a good job of it too. I can fix a lot of things. I'm pretty handy. So anyway, that's the deal right now. That's where I'm at. And I don't know what else to do at this point. I just simply am just going to sit here and wait and see if they do the conciliation. If they don't agree to it, then I'm going to have to get a lawyer and stay here and have to put up with all this stress and being bullied and basically tortured, because I don't like it. I don't like being pushed around, especially when I have to sit up here and behave myself, because if I don't behave myself, I can be thrown out any minute because they don't like me. Just simply because, basically it's taking away my rights to stand up for myself. I don't have any rights. As a disabled person with health problems, I have zero rights. There's a Disability Act, but it's not being followed. And it doesn't matter anyway, because nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares that there's sick people in the world, that can't handle any more shit. I'm at no more shit, please. Thank you. I should start wearing a sign. Please take your shit somewhere else. I'm not interested. Okay? So that's me. And, if you don't like my crassness, I don't care either. Because I went through a lot of crap to become the person I am today. And if this person is not good enough for any of you, I don't care. Okay? So that's just the way it's going to be from now on. And that way I won't be hurt anymore by trying to care for people who obviously don't give a shit. I'm not going to reach out to anybody anymore. I'm just going to live. Me and Rambler, and then when he's gone, I'll get another pet. And I'll be fine. And you know why? Because I have God, and I don't need any of you. And I mean that. He's all I've ever had, and I'm still here alive and kicking. He's my best friend. He's my father, and I even laugh with him. So you know what? If nobody wants to give a shit about me, it's a-okay with me now, because I'm finally to the point to where I don't need any of you anymore. I have God. And I'm going to be happy and healthy. And I am going to get in my little van with my electronics and personal possessions. And I'm going to hit the road. And everybody can just shove this apartment up their asses. But I'll guarantee you one thing. There was 3 people that lived in this apartment in the time that they have lived here. I'm one of them. The next person that lives in here, they're going to have the same problem with these people down here. Why, you ask? Gee, I wonder. Because they don't want anybody living above them, but they don't want to have to climb stairs either. So basically they want their cake and eat it too, and they're willing to go to any extent to get it, even if it's abusing a 53-year-old sick woman. Nice people, huh? Okay? So anyway, I'm going to close this. And I decided while I was sitting here yakking my brain out, I'm going to watch this video. And then I'm going to upload it to YouTube. I've never uploaded a video to YouTube, but I'm going to upload it to YouTube. And I'm going to just share it. I'm just going to let it all hang out because I'm sick and tired of hiding the fact that I am fed up with society and the way that it's abusing everybody that needs help. You cannot need anything from anyone anymore. Even if you earned it, you can't have it. You know, you just simply can't. So don't even ask. Okay? Love y'all. Not.